This is the Contra Anniversary Collection. You get a pile of classic Contra games thrown together in one package, alongside a bunch of bonus material. We're on Series X, kind of showing off a little bit of each of the games so you can see them in action and talking about them. So yeah, you get Contra Arcade, Super Contra, Contra North America, Contra Japan, Super C, Contra 3D Alien Wars, Operation C, Contra Hard Corps, Super Probotector, Alien Rebels, and Probotector. So anyways, this is that original Contra experience as you get in there and you get ready to fight. I want to play the game. Come on, let's start here. And yeah, this is that wild, fast-paced Contra, shooting at everything, kind of wild action going on. This is what it's all about. The original experience. Oh wow, the bridge has blown up. This is a bit of an issue. But don't worry, we're unstoppable. We just keep going. We may be in the water, but we are still firing away like it is absolutely nothing. That's just kind of funny. But yeah, this is that initial sort of nostalgic experience for Contra. And it's just kind of cool that this is still available. I think maybe this package might be a little bit more for hardcore fans than something else. Like we've also checked out the Castlevania package if you want to see what that one looks like on the platform. I think both are kind of cool. And then you can press LT and you can go into things such as the display settings. 16:9, 16:9 scan lines, you know, change the rotation you want down there at the bottom. Different options for like the background. You can have like this cool Type B kind of thing going on there. You get the controls, which is kind of nice. If you want to be able to change your different settings, everything like that. Jumping around and everything. Oh yeah, and then just fight in front of the base and all that. Classic Contra. Ugh. Doing flips and stuff. Okay, let's jump into the next one here, because we got a lot of Contra to be showing off. Super Contra. And there's difficulty choices as well. There's also local 2-player kind of multiplayer co-op going on here with some options. 1 year after the battle, we thought we were free, but we were not. Let's go. So as you can tell, things have changed a little bit. Some smoother visual upgrades and that, which is kind of nice. Again, it's just neat that they actually did these packages. I mean, you can see these whole collections, like whole franchises of games in one little neat package. It's kind of wild if you think about it in the context of today. Most games still aren't even like bundled up or packaged. We're starting to get some games where they're like, you know, trilogy packs, but even then it's not like this where there's like this big splash of games in one big shiny collection container that you can enjoy. Which is almost a bit of a shame, I guess you could say as well. It'd be pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, we got a lot of Contra to show off, so we're going to be just kind of, you know, whipping through these to the best of our ability, giving you a little bit of a look for each of them as we go through the titles. Whoa, the land is lifting! It's kind of nuts, but let's get to the next Contra. So many here, and then we've got Contra. I think most people know this one, right? This is that NES version. I think a lot of people know this one. At least this is what I'm like more familiar with Contra-wise, is this like style of it. Go, go, go. Again, for what I've played of it, I definitely won't be like I'm a hardcore Contra player by any measure, you know, I'm just kind of here for the ride to show this off. Oh no, the bridge is out! If they blew up their own bridge, why were these guys on that bridge? It's a very good question. But this is the classic run and gun franchise. You know, you're moving around, you're shooting, you're destroying things. And yeah, you get all the extra like digital art books if you want to get some, you know, behind the scenes looks at the franchise overall. I think it's kind of a neat touch, right? It's just something else like historical wise that you might find kind of neat if you've never played the games, or if you have played the games and you're kind of like, oh, I'd love to learn more a little bit of the franchise behind the scenes. I think that's got a nice sort of touch to it, just to have that extra little option there. And yes, we've got way more Contras to show and so little time, so let's get on to the next Contra. Yep. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So this is the Japanese Contra, so this one should be about the same, but like slightly different, I guess, as well. So that should be interesting. Yeah, so this is about the same as the North American one. Obviously a little bit different in some of the adjustments in the gameplay. I'm just saying, you know, kind of visually and at a glance, this is going to be very similar to the North American NES option. We beat the bridge blowing up! You gotta be a master of running, gunning, and shooting in order to get through this one. But, yeah, some neat little animation elements in the backdrop, people hidden, soldiers and stuff fighting. Kind of a cool situation there as well, which isn't surprising. And then we go to Super C. Definitely get your value out of it, quantity-wise, you know? Very different game options to play it. There's, you know, it's actually kind of nice to see some of these older ones. You know, I go in there and I'm kind of like, oh wow, full packages. You get like a stack of full games to play, which is kind of nice to see what hits your fancy. I'm sure there's some people sitting here that like literally went through these back in the day and they're like, oh yeah. Although maybe not all of them. It also depends on if you've seen this collection before as well. What possessed me specifically to go here, I don't know. I saw the Castlevania one, I was kind of working through that, and I was like, you know what, I've also got the Contra Anniversary Collection too. That might be a neat one to show off. I don't mind doing some of the more retro type things. They actually can be quite cool. Depending on the game, you can have a lot of fun sitting around shooting and playing through them, just like I imagine people did way back when they first released, right? Just because the game's old doesn't mean it's not necessarily super exciting to work through. No. Or not necessarily not super exciting to work through. Just something a little bit different, right? And there are so many of these titles. We are like halfway through this list. We gotta get rolling. Contra 3, the Alien Wars. This just got alienistic. Alien time. Contra. High scores. Come on, let's go. Again, more visual changes. There's like weird balance of like futuristic stuff. Kind of almost reminds me a little bit of the Metal Slug. I actually quite like Metal Slug. I don't know if you guys have played any of those ones. They're pretty cool. Those are pretty run and gun too. Is that like a feral dog thing? Kind of weird alien planet early on where we're fighting like weird marine monsters and like alien dogs. This place is just strange. Oh, game over. You definitely die pretty easily. You have to be a little bit strategic if you want to actually survive through a lot of this stuff. Maybe it's the big car explosion right off the bat. That could cause problems. There's like some alien explosion stuff. Ugh, firing away. Oh, come on, we gotta be tougher than this. We're dealing with aliens that have seemingly destroyed this human city. Good thing we've got another Contra. It's someone else's problem now. Operation. See, like, yeah, they included this in with the Castlevania package too, like this really old school black and white style. Just such a neat thing. Like, it's not necessarily something that I'm like, oh, I'm excited to play it, but it's kind of cool, right? Like, historically, it's a neat inclusion. It's just something a little bit different. Can't imagine it was that hard to throw into the package. Fire away! The marvel of being like on the Game Boy or something. The old school one. Someone back in the day was probably like, oh my god, it's Contra! Now I'm just kind of like, oh jeez. Little rough around the edges, needless to say, that's for sure. Okay, let's get on to the next one. We are burning through these games. We are Contraing it up. Now it's time for Contra Hardcorps. Hardcorps. Which leaves us with 2 extras after this one. Grab power-ups to blast your way through waves of menacing enemies. You know how it is. Contra Hardcorps. Yeah, they try to spin off and stuff, which is kind of cool. Our security system has been breached by an unknown hacker. An unmanned robot is running rampant through the city. It shall be done. Well, that's kind of terrifying. Oh, we're just mowing that all down with the car there. Right on. Fighting these robot things. Oh wow, this has got some like smooth, fluid motion combat to it, that's for sure. You are moving around shooting things like crazy. No wonder this one is called the Hardcorps. Actually, I think a fair bit of people talk about this one decently often, and you go, oh, that's kind of cool. It's interesting. I think they've tried Contra in the modern era too, and it's kind of like, oh, there's different options. Sheena. Cool. I don't know how well it's translated to later releases and stuff, but it's definitely like a neat franchise. Oh yeah, Sheena's ready to shoot. Wow, look at all the explosion stuff going on. It's pretty wild, right? Alright, let's switch over to another one. I just thought I'd show off like a different character. Looks like he'd be like a werewolf thing too, which is kind of neat. Definitely give you choices. So this is the Super Probotector Alien Rebels or something like that. It's a bit weird. Turbo 60 hertz. Oh yeah, sign me up. It's also cool that that is an option, the 50 hertz or the 60 hertz, but give me that smooth 60 hertz there. And I mean, you know, different people would be used to different things depending on, I guess, your regional options for hertz on the TVs at the time, right? Fire! Woo! It's almost like we just played this already. I mean, I'm sure the experience is slightly different. You know, like it's cool that they give you the different choices, though, right? Like some collections might leave out different versions of a game just for no reason, and yeah, at least this one kind of stays true to it. So I'm assuming this is like a robots version of that one because of like some kind of age rating thing or something like that for a particular region that you weren't allowed people, I'm guessing. That would be my assumption as to why this one kind of exists as it does, which makes me kind of curious what our final one of the package kind of looks like as we switch over to that, which will just be Probotector. Give me that 60 hertz turbo, but you can go to 50, you do you, right? It's cool. Let's see, we get blue, red, or Robo Dog. So just be blue. Sure, CX1, whatever. Oh, so it's literally just like robots instead of people. That is kind of fascinating. Again, I'm assuming that's just because of a regional thing in order to try to get into different places, which makes a lot of sense to me, actually. Yeah, because it's literally what we just played, right? But instead of that, instead of humans, it's just robots. Kind of funny, kind of humorous. Anyways, that's basically the Contra Anniversary Collection. If you like Contra, this is sort of something to get. You get all the different looks at it, you get the history of the series, and you get some extra behind the scenes stuff. Kind of neat.